All right, so welcome everyone. I'm very happy to see you here today and to share this meditation with you. It's a very special day for me because and you will understand why. So some of you will understand why very quickly. I really feel that this full moon is very related to the concept of nafis that we worked with when we were in Egypt as a group. Penny, you know that. You'll see why, but it's really putting together all the concepts that we worked with into the energies of the moment. So I would like to dedicate this meditation and this session to the Nafis group.
Thank you.
So thank you. So today we're meeting full moon in the sign of Virgo, in the 5th degree of Virgo. It happened today at 12:30 Universal Time. That would be, I don't know, because I get confused with time conversions. All I can say, it would be 1:30 Paris time. That's all I can say. But it happened around 7 hours ago. Yeah. And just a quick reminder, what's a full moon? The full moon is when the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the sky. The sun represents the consciousness, and the moon represents the subconscious and the unconscious. That means that the consciousness is bringing to light things that are unconscious or in our subconscious, as in collective, to our awareness. So if you felt that you've had some aha moments, some realizations, or even awakenings, it can be stronger than that, this moon will encourage that. It will push towards that sort of events. These revelations or realizations that you have about yourself can be positive and negative. They can be things that you realize, oh my God, I'm like this. Or it can be, oh, wow, I'm like this too. I'm that good, or it can be something positive you discover about yourself. It can be parts of you, behaviors, thoughts, patterns that come to your awareness and that you have never seen in the same way before. The true meaning of that, if we really go to the depth of what this moon is telling us, it doesn't really matter what you actually bring to your awareness or what you discover. What really matters is to understand that all of that is a construct. All of that is the personality or the building you created to adjust to conditions, to your environment, your economic environment, your social environment, your family environment, and everything else that by adaptation or reaction you created to survive, essentially. And in that process, a lot of us, if not most of us or all of us, have forgotten all or part of who we really are, our real essence, what we call our divine part, or what we call our inner child. So for me, this moon is really opening the door of and pushing us to connect to that divine part in us. I'm currently reading a book written by a shaman, and she calls that part I forgot, the sacred point of view. Point of view of what? Of the divine. Meaning what? That each of us is a sacred point of view of the consciousness. And that means that each point of view is constitutive of the whole. So if you remove one point of view, the whole cannot be whole. But also, your part is essential, and at the same time, it's multiple. So it teaches us to recognize our unicity as individuals, but also our belonging to a whole. So Aquarian, that's very Aquarian as a way of thinking. But it's very important. I insist on that concept because I really feel that in our education, at least in the Western world, we are, sometimes I really feel like we are a consequence of things, of the education systems, of so many things. But in fact, it's time to become the cause, the one who creates. And we're going to come to that in a moment, because the source of the creation comes from the most imaginative sign, the most dreaming side of the zodiac, and that's Pisces, and that's where the sun is. But I'll talk about that in a moment. So in other words, this is a true frequency update that we're having. It's not something that is happening all of a sudden, but with all the little updates we've done and all the work that we've been doing over the past couple of years or year and a half, now we're coming to that shift. Also, it is the moment where we are at the peak of the solar cycle. So we have solar flares every day, other day, at least once a week. There was 2 X-class solar flares on the 22nd. X-class is the highest, the strongest solar flares, and both came out on the 22nd. So it's just like, for me, I see it as, you know, you rearrange a circuit board and you plug it. So what we do with astrology is we rearrange the circuit board, we rearrange our thoughts, our patterns, and what we want to do. And then the solar flare just puts us on the mains and you know, something like this. It just activates the information. That's how I see it. So because we're at that, you know, bridge, that shift, sometimes it can feel a little bit difficult, because we definitely want to let go of the old. And I think it's a feeling that is much stronger than last year, where it was very, I remember we worked a lot on letting go of the old during last year in those meditations. But this time it's not even mental. We just know it's something we don't want anymore. We don't have to think about it. We just realize, oh, that thing, I don't want it. But the thing is, the new is not there yet. So we're kind of in between spaces or in between places where we know something has to go, and we don't know what we're going towards to yet. And this is where the concept of Nafis. Okay, for those who don't know what Nafis is, in the Matías teachings, the universe has 12 names, and one of the 12 names of the universe is Nafis. It contains 3 concepts: the N, the F, and the S. We're gonna see that a little bit later, but it really speaks about that. It speaks about that leap of faith that we take towards a new possibility. Not the infinite, let's say, it's a leap into the grid of possibilities, in the sense of there already is an organized network or patterns that we're going to choose from. I don't know if it makes sense. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so it can feel super uncomfortable to have that, like to have to let go of things and to not know what to do. But also, that's also the most exciting, because then it's a blank slate. Then you can choose everything. You can just be. You can just decide. Isn't that wonderful? Just to decide, okay, I choose to be this, I choose to be that. And what I choose is valid because I'm a sacred point of view of the consciousness. Therefore, I am who I am, right? It's, at the end of the day, it's that simple. It's really getting in touch with that inner children don't ask themselves a million questions. They just are. And that's the state of mind in terms of creating our realities and creating the new version of ourselves that we want. That's how we want to see it. The bonus thing is that we're not children, we're adults. So we have the ability to create the structures, the support, and whatever is needed for that inner child to achieve their dreams, their goals, and whatever they want to create. And it is very real. It sounds like maybe foo-foo, but it isn't. It's very real. It's very possible. It's very available to every one of us. And I forgot to share that experience we did a sound harmonizations a couple of hours ago, and I forgot to share that experience, and I'm going to share it now because it was a very deep one. I found myself last week, I mean the week that just passed, in a moment of sadness, and I couldn't understand why. And I just paused and I thought, and a few days before I had become aware of some behaviors or some people who were getting on my nerves. I became indifferent, things that were really new to me. And I had the feeling that I was mourning myself, like part of me had died. And it felt, it was very painful because I was like, well, who am I? If I'm dying, who am I? Who am I going to be? But then I remembered that I can choose now. No one's going to dictate who I can be or who I want to be, who I should be. I am who I am. And the sense of liberation, of lightness that it gives you is just incredible. And I was thinking maybe of, I don't know if I'm sharing this because if it resonates with any of you, maybe you want to do it too. I was thinking maybe of doing like a ceremony to mourn myself, just to say thank you to everything that I had been. I don't know in what form. Maybe I'll make a drawing of myself. I don't know. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it. And just bury it in my garden and dance around it and say goodbye and thank it. To really acknowledge that moving from one version to another, from one frequency to another. Because unless I make space, then where's the new gonna fit? I need to create void. I need to create emptiness for new things to become. So when I know how I'm going to do it, I'm happy to share that with you. But for now, I haven't found the right act of psycho magic to do it. I'm looking at my notes. Yeah. So yes, I was talking about who I want to be. And that's really our inner child that we need to connect with and to give it a voice and let it play and let it see things with wonder and get fresh eyes on things. And where we get, and also have that faith that children have. They're not scared of things. They just try things, they just do it. And the faith, that comes from Pisces, where the sun is. And that creates the Virgo Pisces axis, which is a very important axis in the zodiac. in many respects. The full moon of Vesak, for example, it is said that the masters gather in that axis because it's the one that really connects heaven and earth. And they gather there to connect in the most intimate way with us on earth. So, as I said, for the full moon to be in Virgo, the sun has to be in Pisces. The mantra of Pisces is, I believe, and it's the spiritual aspect of the water element. So it's the return to oneness after we've gone through all the archetypes or the path of the hero, whatever you want to call it. We come back to the one, the everything, the water that's indivisible. Wherever you go, water is water. It's not one water, two water, it's just water, right? And this is what is shining its consciousness or its awareness on the moon and on us. Pisces relates to the concept of love, of will, and manifestation. So the seed of manifesting, even though we are in the dream, as in the original mind, in the great mind, we already have the seed of manifestation, which comes to fruition in Virgo, in the middle of summer, in the sign that is most detail-oriented, that is super incarnated, and that is the soul aspect of the earth elements. And this is where, so Nafis is the name of God that is related to the constellation of Virgo. It bears the concept of the messenger, or the ambassador, or the emissary, the spark that creates movement, and the ability to take that leap of faith and to choose a path among the grid of possibilities. So this is the story that's happening with this full moon. We get the dream, and that's our inner child. Collectively, it's the new society that we want to create, but individually, it's our interpretation or our own part of the divine that we are incarnating, and how we're going to make that leap of faith, that because we know we're supported by Pisces, we know we're supported by the oneness to manifest or incarnate that part of the divine. Virgo, Mercury, who rules Virgo, sorry. It's Hermes, it's the messenger, and it's sitting next to the sun at the moment. So it's giving us even further access to the divine consciousness. It also calling for to be very grounded. You know, Virgo is earth. The mantra is I analyze. So I look into the details, and I'm very precise and detailed. What else? And all of that is amplified by Jupiter, who is connecting in a positive aspect with both the sun and the moon. So it's really expanding our ability to connect to the universal mind and to manifest that in our reality. I feel it's such a beautiful moon, really. Very powerful, very beautiful. Let's see what else is happening in the sky. We have Chiron still connected to the North Node in Aries. Aries, remember, it's the first side of the zodiac, and its mantra is I am. So we're back to who we are, really. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So it's really a moment to heal our sense of self. And by doing that, we get access to all the energy I just spoke about. It's like you have a puzzle and you need that piece to complete the picture. So it's very important to be in connection with that sense of self and anything that, and to heal anything that makes you feel not whole or not complete, not authentic. It's your authentic self that we want to see, or that the universe want to see. And this is also where Mars and Venus can help, because they are sitting together. They were conjunct on the 22nd. That was Friday. Yeah, Friday. Friday? Yeah, Friday. No, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. They were exactly conjunct, but they're still close enough to have meaning for today's moon. And that's when the two become one. That's when the masculine and the feminine like get together again. And for me, I see it more like the active and the receptive that get together again. It's also where we remember how Matías speaks about remembering putting the members together. That's what it is as well. It's like becoming whole, becoming like, you know, if you take the yin and yang sign, like the symbol of yin and yang, that's what I'm talking about. It's that unity of self with all its aspects. Before moving to the numerology of today, which is very interesting as well, I want to talk about one of the fixed stars, which has a very strong and interesting aspect tonight. It's exactly conjunct the sun, and that fixed star is called Deneb. Deneb is the brightest star of the constellation of Cygnus. It was the North Star of Atlantis at the beginning of the Atlantean time and during the Atlantean time, during the Virgo era. And then when Atlantis fell and it became Chem, it was Lyra. It was another constellation that was there. And the interesting thing is the symbolism of that star. And the symbolism is, it's the bridge that helps to cross to a higher level of consciousness. So it's like so spot on, you can't invent those things. That means that we have a lot of energy available, like a lot. It's almost like, okay, here you are, just take a ladle or a 10 of it, you know? So what else? Yes, the numerology of today. So 24, 24, and 2. That's 48, and 2, that's 50. So it's 5. The 5 amplified by the 0, expanded by the 0. And 5 is the symbol of man, of us, as a bridge between heaven and earth. So it's all there. And yeah, that's that for today. That's the information of the day. So if I had to summarize that, I would say, and in fact, it's one of the first images that came to me when I was preparing today's meditation and today's information. It's really stepping into a new skin. It's beyond changing and, you know, mending this part and repairing that and patching this. It's really like, okay, I'm just gonna get a new skin all together, which gives you the freedom to choose. What skin do you want? I want it with pearls and diamonds, or I wanted painted blue, or I wanted, I don't know, snake skin, whatever. You just decide. Is that open? And remember, the skin, interestingly enough, the Virgo in the 12 systems is related to the tegumentary system, which is the skin again. So, and the skin, I'm going to read your message, Sylvia, before I continue. Sylvia says, it makes sense that my skin has been unusually itchy this last week. Yes, it does. And Susan says, I love the idea of changing to new skin. Yes, me too. I love that. It makes things so much easier, right? Yeah, the skin, interestingly enough, the skin is what unites our physical body. It contains our physical body and unites our physical being. So for me, it's really embodying both aspects of unity that's born by Pisces and the very physical, very material aspect of ourselves, which is the physical. You know, containing all our organs, all our members, everything that we are on the physical plane. So it's really time to step into that new skin and to trust. Pisces is I believe. And we have a lot of energy in Pisces. We have the Sun, Mercury, Neptune. Who else? Let me see. I'm forgetting someone. Where are they? I should look at a chart. And Saturn, of course. Saturn, which is the master of manifestation as well. That is the great manifester. So it's not just believe, but we have support, you know. It's like, it made me think of, have you ever seen spiders molting? It's very impressive. I almost wanted to show it to you, but I think for some it can be painful even to watch. So I'm not going to show it, but they have an exoskeleton. So every once in a while they need to grow and they can't grow because their skeleton is outside and it's too hard. So they have to come out of it. But to come out of it, they have to be bigger than it already. So there is that moment of that looks so painful when you look at them doing their molting, where they are super stressed until they come out of their shell, and you can see like straight away that they are much bigger than their shell. And that's the new skin. And I know also that we talk a lot about healing this and healing that and the childhood trauma and this and that. Yes, that's good. But sometimes it can be as simple as dropping it just by. Sometimes, I'm not saying it's an absolute rule and it works for everything, but for some things, you can just like let it go. There's nothing to think or analyze, or just let go of that and put the focus on the new skin, on what you want to create and who you want to be. And I think that's that. No, before we move on to the rest, I want to read to you the information that's related to Nafis. And part of it is, for me, so beautiful, it's almost like a poem. So I'm going to read that out loud to you. My voice is a precious jewel that I offer in every song of my being. Life force in the palm of my hand that lights the fire of light and hope, dissolving obstacles in my inner process of self-realization and opening doors to new possibilities. I feel like reading it again. Shall I? Okay.
Yes, please.
My voice is a precious jewel. Your voice is really your own vibration. That's why it's very important. That's why it starts there. It's your power of creation as that sacred point of view. So my voice is a precious jewel that I offer in every song of my being. Life force in the palm of my hand that lights the fire of light and hope, dissolving obstacles in my inner process of self-realization and opening doors to new possibilities.
That's so beautiful. It makes me want to sing. Makes my heart sing.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I will post it in the video and in Heartbeat. And I want to read to you two other things because they bring more clarity to everything that I've been talking about. So Nafis, the mantra, this is what it means. I am the one who takes the breath of faith to set out on the journey. You see how everything I've been talking about just comes together. I am the one who takes the breath of faith to set out on the journey. So we're really looking forward. And to complement all of that, today we're going to work with the consonant N with the vowel A. A is related to the crown chakra. And N, I'm going to explain that, read out loud to you what it means. N is the leap. The leap is delivering yourself to the inevitable experience, to the possibility of giving everything that is in the nucleus to be shared in the surroundings. The N sound reflects the conscience talking with the soul, providing its view to be felt. It's the handshake between the subconscious and the unconscious. And from there, you can act, you can create. And that's the rest of the mantra Nafis Safin. Yeah? That's it for me. Maybe we can ask the inner earth people for some additional guidance. Let's see what they have for us today. Does anyone want to share anything or to comment or, oh, okay. Oh, we got the Pleiadians today and they're speaking about balance. There's a lot of air in there. So let's see what it means. What is number 8? Okay, they say, find the point of balance in your life. Every day is made of different currents that go through you. Those currents have different actions on each individual. It depends on our capacity for interior harmony with those currents. The work is important for you, but we suggest to consider also to work silently within. When you are not in action, you can make the most of the integration currents to settle down without escaping. Some of your centers of interests are escapes during those moments of integration. You have a tendency during those moments of integration, you have a tendency to let yourself be distracted, to escape a work of introspection, or to postpone it. The periods of work, integration, and distraction must find a balance so you can have more joy and happiness. Essential key is balance is what supports your happiness and your development. Does it make sense? For me, it's very useful advice.
Dunya, I wanted to add something that before we came on, I was noticing that in the Yosoi 360 days, today is the topic is the moon. And the statement is, I am the being's balance.
Oh my God. Okay.
So,
thank you. Cosmic clock is working.
yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing
You're
this.
welcome.
Okay, here's, if you want to take a look at the picture again. So there are several, how do you call that sound? How do you call these things?
Kite. It looks like a
Yes,
kite.
kite, thank you, that's the word I'm looking for. So there's a little character at the bottom that is balancing different kites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
What was the word on the bottom under Pleiadian?
L'équilibre, balance. It's in French.
Oh, okay. Balance. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is the clock. Incredible. It never ceases to amaze me. Like every time it's something so special and so unexpected as well. It's never something we expect. I love it. Thank you, people of the inner earth. Okay. Anyone wants to share something, add something before we move on to the meditation? Yes, please.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sorry, I went to go grab, it was a fortune cookie, fortune that I had received last year, but it is, don't be afraid of opposition. Remember, a kite rises against the wind. So just to remember if there's any feelings of counter that we can just soar with it and move with it. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. And we had kites on the card, so it gives us extra meaning. Ah. Yeah, it feels like, have you seen those decks are very um, cartoons where there's one where the characters just peeks into the future to see what's the next scene is gonna be. Like sometimes you feel like that, like you want to just turn a few pages and just have a peek of what's next. But I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be awesome. Okay, let me share the music. Yeah. Okay. Do you hear it? It should be low for now, but okay, perfect. Okay, close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable position. And we're going to start by connecting to our body. So I invite you to take a moment to acknowledge where you're seated, your surroundings. Check where your body is resting, if it's on a chair, on a couch, where there's that pressure of your weight being supported by wherever you're sitting on. Be very detailed, observant, to become fully aware of your physical presence and where you are. And if you are sitting on a chair, make sure your feet are on the ground, not crossed. So you're really in touch with Earth. And start to massage and caress your body, recognizing that it's the vehicle that the spirit and the soul are using to act in this dimension. And as you touch and caress, listen to the feedback your body is giving you. And when you're ready, you can go back to stillness, relaxing your shoulders, your belly, your cheeks and face, places where tensions can accumulate. And we're going to start by focusing on our sense of touch. I become aware of what I'm feeling, where I'm sitting, where it touches, where it doesn't. I'm aware of the pressure. I'm aware of the feeling of my clothes on my skin. And I sharpen that sense. Maybe I can feel the air on my skin. Very, very subtle and delicate touch of the air around me. It can be the air that I breathe, or just the atmosphere that I'm in. My entire skin is super perceptive, super alert, super sensitive to everything it is in contact with. take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now I'm going to focus on my sense of taste. I sharpen my senses and see what taste do I have in my mouth. Maybe it's the last meal that I had. Maybe it's toothpaste. Maybe it's something I drank. Perhaps it's even a memory of a taste. I focus my entire attention in my taste buds. And I feel I can sense the tiniest of tastes available in my mouth. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now I place my attention on my sense of smell. And I observe, what smells do I perceive in this room? Maybe it's my own perfume. Maybe I can perceive some smell outside that comes to my nose. I pay very close attention, being very precise in my perceptions, very cute, very observant, catching each molecule that can give me an information about the smells surrounding me. I take a moment to analyze. And I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I focus on my hearing. What can I hear beyond the music that is currently playing? And even in that music, what is it that I can hear exactly with precision? What can I hear beyond the voice that is guiding me? I perceive each vibration, each tone, undertone, and overtone. How the vibration continues or stops. And I sharpen my hearing to the maximum. Extending its ability to the edges of possibility. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now I focus on my sense of sight. Behind my eyes closed, what can I see? I place my entire attention in my visual perception. Perhaps I can see shapes or colors or movement, shadows or light. I place my entire mind in service of my sense of sight. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And with my inner vision, I imagine, feel, see myself walking in a forest, a beautiful forest, with beautiful tall trees. I walk on a path surrounded by exquisite nature. And as I walk, I feel in harmony, at peace, safe, surrounded only by beauty and love. I feel the ground under my feet, and I remember that I am supported, loved, and nurtured anywhere I go, all the time, without condition. Take a moment to acknowledge that feeling, enjoy it, and remember it truly. And I continue to walk. And I come across a little stream. I stop. And perhaps I drink from it even. And I remember that in the same way, this water holds the memory of all my desires. In me are the memories of the entire universe. And like water is the source of all life, I too am the source of new realities. I continue to walk, and I notice the sun on my skin. I feel its warmth and see its golden light bathing my surroundings. And I become aware that in me lives the fire that ignites every one of my movements and sparks every one of my actions. I take a moment to remember the fire in me. And I continue on that path, walking. And I hear the wind dancing in the trees. I feel it caressing my skin. I breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And I remember that each breath awakens my spirit and propels my soul to take the next step towards my future. And in that movement, I expand, bringing new realities into existence. I close my eyes, acknowledging the presence of the elements in me and around me. I take a deep breath and I continue to walk. The path that I'm following leads me to a circular clearing. The place is beautiful and shimmers with silver gold light. I stand in the middle. I look around and I notice crystals, big crystals, lining the edge of the clearing. As I get close, I hear them whispering. I get closer and put my hands on one of them. And I immediately remember who I am. I remember that I am a sacred point of view of the divine, as much as any other being, mineral, vegetal, animal. I pause. I take a deep breath and look at my past. I understand that as I walk the path of evolution, I go through its cycles of expression, experimentation, integration, and transcendence. And with each new cycle, I remember my ability to free myself from everything that I think I am, so I can be. I thank my past for all its teachings, and I open up to a new path, ready to receive in wonder and to see all in a new light. And as I remember that, as I remember who I am, I resonate with the sound na. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly, I come back to my breath, to my presence, here and now. I start moving my head, my hands and arms, my entire body as I feel needed. And when I'm ready, I can open my eyes. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here with me. I wish you a wonderful full moon, sorry. And a fabulous adventure in your new skin.
Thank you, Dunya.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dunya.